Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez. You might not like what I'm about to say on this one, but it's okay because we can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. You might not like what I have to say about this one, but we can agree to disagree. But before we get into it, let me bring you guys up to speed of what's happening. Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years. We're going to go over to the BBC News in order to illustrate exactly what's going on. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Let's rock.
To the US now, where the rapper Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting and wounding the US hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion. During the trial in Los Angeles, the jury heard that Lanez had fired a gun at the singer's feet and shouted for her to dance back in 2020. The pair had left a party at Kylie Jenner's home in the Hollywood Hills. Well, Lanez's lawyer gave this response to the sentencing.
I think the sentence handed down was incredibly harsh. I have seen cases of vehicular homicide and other cases where there's death and the person still gets less than 10 years. And this case, to get a 10-year sentence is extreme.
Now, you know what my thoughts are, or maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. You know what my thoughts are. Shout out to the electrician 480. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly, and everybody that contributes to the platform, I appreciate you. You know what my thoughts are about Meg Thee Stallion in this case in general. And if you're not familiar with what my thoughts are about this, let me give you an update. I think that Meg Thee Stallion is a liar. I think that no. Let me revise that. I believe that Meg Thee Stallion, I know in my heart of hearts that she is a liar. I know that the justice system is set up against men. I know that no matter what, there will never be a group of women that advocate for what's in the best interest of themselves by holding themselves accountable. I believe that this is a travesty. I believe that it's important for them to prove that you are culpable and guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and that was not done. I believe that he was convicted in a court of public opinion before he ever even hit the stand in the first place. And to see her on Gayle King's show, first of all, lying about the fact that she said that she did not have sex with this man or any kind of sexual relations, and then to get on the stand and say the complete opposite, automatically should disqualify her testimony and her accusation in the first place. Because if you lie about one thing, then why should we believe you in the other? If you lie about one thing publicly, volunteered yourself as tribute to then jump online and jump on an interview and lie blatantly about multiple different things, including having a sexual relationship with the man, and then to get on the stand and say something completely different, how do we not discredit the witness? How do we even take these accusations serious? How do we then beyond a shadow of a doubt? Because listen, this is not just saying, look, he a man, she a woman. This is somebody's life. This is 10 fucking years. You don't get that shit back. It's too many people getting out of jail today that has been accused of something that they didn't do, and we don't hold the people accountable that then lie about it. He was convicted in a court of public opinion before he ever tried to defend himself on the stands, and that is a travesty. That is a travesty. We're not even getting into the sentencing yet. You lie to the cops, you lie on an interview, you lie in court. We don't know when the fuck you telling the truth. But this was all an agenda, in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion, this was all an agenda. All an agenda. And what was the agenda? What was the point of this? Why was he convicted? Why? Look. Let me tell you something. You gave more energy to this than the YNW Melly case. You gave more. I seen more people that look like us, that has this same pigmentation in their skin, give more energy in advocating for throwing this man away in this situation than your own fucking cousin and YNW Melly and all of these other motherfuckers that's poisoning the community. Y'all stood for Young Thug and said no snitching, but throw Tory Lanez under the fucking jail. Y'all said we not fucking with Gunna because he actually did the thing that was in his own best interest in order to make sure that this nigga go to jail. Running a criminal enterprise. Allegedly, they people ran into the wrong house and hurt and killed an elderly person because they had the wrong house on the setup, and you motherfuckers advocated for freeing Young Thug and throw Tory Lanez under the bus. And they had no reasonable way for them to actually be able to substantiate that he is the person. They had no fingerprints, no gunpowder, no nothing. Conflicting testimony, evidence, lying on the stand.
And really just another example of someone being punished for their celebrity status and someone being utilized as to send an example. And he's not an example, he's a human being.
Tory Lanez's lawyer there. Well, the prosecution also gave its reaction to the verdict.
The fact that Ms. Pete is a successful entertainer has brought a spotlight on the important issue of violence against women. There are many people in our community that endure acts of violence every day from people close to them and feel reluctant to come forward when this happens. I hope that Ms. Pete's bravery gives hope to those that feel helpless. In fact, today, as sentencing through her statement, and yesterday, Ms. Pete thought of others who have been similarly situated.
Well, from Los Angeles, our North America correspondent Peter Bowe summarises the case.
At the height of this trial, there was a cultural firestorm focusing in on the allegations against Tory Lanez and on Megan Thee Stallion, who at the end of the trial, the prosecution said had been subjected to repeated and grotesque attacks while bringing the case. Now, just to recap, at the end of last year, Tory Lanez was found guilty on 3 counts relating to the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. This goes back to a 2020 pool party at the home of the reality star Kylie Jenner. They were leaving the party. It seems that Megan and Tory Lanez got into some sort of argument over his musical ability. She says that he told her to dance, and it was shortly after that that she was shot in the foot. Now, he has maintained his innocence throughout. His lawyer said there was a botched investigation. The prosecution said the evidence pointed towards his guilt. And what we've just seen are 2 unusually long days during the sentencing phase of this trial. Long in large part because a number of people came forward. The judge received many letters, people providing character witnesses for Tory Lanez and supporting his plea not to be sent to jail for these offences. In fact, he addressed the court and he said of Megan Thee Stallion, he said she was someone he still cared for dearly to this.
And meanwhile, he made a whole album about her and said, listen, I still rock with you, baby girl. I still love you, baby girl. I still care for you dearly, love. And then what did she say as a result of it?
Stay, no matter what she may think of him, he said he was the victim's friend. Now, we didn't hear directly from Megan Thee Stallion in the courtroom. She says she struggled with the decision as to whether to appear in person, but she did present a statement, and in that statement she said she hadn't experienced a single day of peace since the shooting. She said mercy is for people who show remorse, and Lanez had shown none.
He said, listen, I still love you, baby girl. I still love you, baby girl. And then they reached out to her and they say, what did you think about him? She said, fuck that dude. Mercy is for other people. Mercy is not for him. Mercy is not for him. And so what do we take from this? What do we learn from this? As he's sitting, rotting away in jail, right? She hasn't had a single peaceful night of sleep since this happened. Oh my God. Not a single night sleepless, restless, turning and tossing. Oh my God. Not Megan Thee Stallion. She said, fuck that dude. Fuck you. Peace is not yours. And so, as he sits in jail with his life rotting away, even though she lied, clearly, either she lied or it was just two different contexts that was being communicated during the trial, and then what it is that she said on these different interviews, like Gayle King. He said, oh my God, I still love you. She said, that's what your girl gonna do to you. That's what your girl gonna do to you? Yeah. Yeah. That is what your girl gonna do to you because you picked her. Let me tell you one thing that I do hold Tory Lanez accountable for the choices that he made to align himself with the people that was not best for him and not being able to say. He still ain't learned his lesson. Now he gonna have some time. He gonna have some time to sit down, think about it. He probably gonna subscribe to Fresh and Fit when he get out of there, right? He gonna subscribe to Fresh and Fit. He gonna let Fresh CEO give him the game on how it is that he need to be able to move around women, right? He gonna think about this shit. He got a long time to be able to figure this shit out and put things in perspective. She was supported by Rock Nation, which included Jay-Z and Beyonce and all of this stuff, right? Yeah. He gonna think about that shit when he got to eat that meatloaf with no seasoning in it. Yep. It's gonna be on.